So today you're probably going to get bombarded by a ton of Galaxy Note 20 Ultra videos, specifically camera comparisons where they'll like zoom in between two different cameras and be like, oh my God, look very closely. I'm zooming in. Can you see the shadows? The shadows are 0.5% brighter in the right photo. Can you see it? And those are great. If you're into cameras and you're a stickler for those minor details that make no difference to your life, watch those videos. But I want to talk about a few things that make this phone truly different. And the first thing is the Windows 10 integration. Like, this is something a lot of Android users always wanted with Windows 10 because Apple users have it so normally on their devices. This is something that's been working for them for years. And it looks like Samsung and Microsoft's partnership is making that happen. Yes, the Your Phone app is there and some of the general features like text messaging, moving photos are available to most Android devices. But this year, we have the ability to use apps on the phone using Windows 10. And like, that is just so convenient. Like, if you're sitting at your desk, you don't have to pick up your phone to post an Instagram picture. You can do it on Windows 10. If you're sitting at your desk and you want to respond to an app that doesn't work with the text messaging Your Phone app, you can just load the app in Windows 10. I know you can do this through Dex by loading up Dex, but then that's another piece of software that you have to worry about. The second thing is the Xbox and Samsung partnership. Technically, yes, you're going to be able to play Project xCloud across all Android devices, but the big benefit of going with a Samsung device is that there's a lot of incentives to purchase the device because you get added on accessories like controllers and an Xbox Game Pass membership if you buy this device for 3 months. But I think the bigger takeaway from this is microtransactions. Microsoft doesn't want to use the Google Play Store because they have to use their fee structure, which is a lot higher than whatever deal that Samsung made with Microsoft. So if you're buying games and you're purchasing virtual items, it's probably going to be cheaper using a Galaxy device because it's going through the Galaxy Store. And the third thing is the S Pen. This year, you can now write on the screen and it's a lot faster. 9 milliseconds. This is iPad Pro territory. And look, for most people, this is not a big deal because you're simply just pulling out your phone and writing down a quick note. But funny enough, there's actually a community of users who buy notes specifically to use them as tools to draw and sketch. I've met them. I've seen their artwork. I mean, it's tougher to do on such a smaller screen, but you have to remember a lot of people can't afford buying an expensive phone, buying an iPad, and buying a computer with a Wacom tablet, depending on what type of work they're into. But having it all on one device with a 9 millisecond response time allows those drawings to be done fluidly. Now, this design has become a classic for Samsung. It's still using that boxy look, and if you look at the Note 10 Plus, they're very similar. This year, you're obviously getting more cameras, you're getting bigger cameras, and a lot of people are complaining about the bump on the back of the phone. Yes, this is the biggest camera bump you're gonna see on a smartphone. It's massive, and trust me, when you see it in person, you'll see what I'm talking about, but I think they did a good job of making it look classy. Like, these little rings around the camera make this phone look so luxurious. And when you combine that with the frosted back, it's different. Like, it's a much different feel and look to the glossy flat back of the Note 10 Plus. Now, with that being said, you are going to want to put a case or a skin on this. Dbrand channel sponsor has a great selection, and what that will do is it will level out the camera. You want the camera to be leveled because when this is sitting on your desk, you don't want it to get scratched. And if you're using your phone on your desk, you don't want the phone to make this noise and kind of trample over when you're touching the screen. Now, it does make a noise when you shake the camera. This is normal. Don't freak out and think you got a bad device. Even the S20 Ultra does this. It's just the periscope lens. It's a loose part. It's meant to be like that. It's working as intended. Photo quality has been improved this year. It's still using the same 108 megapixel sensor. The big difference though is that they swapped out the 48 megapixel sensor that was in the S20 Ultra and installed a 12 megapixel sensor instead and left the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Now what this does is instead of getting 10 times optical zoom, you're gonna get 5, and instead of 100 times zoom, you're getting 50. Quite frankly, 100 times zoom on the Ultra was a pure gimmick. It looked like trash. 50 times zoom still doesn't look that great, but it is an improvement over 100 times zoom. Autofocusing, so much better than the Galaxy S20 Ultra. This thing is hit or miss. Nighttime mode. I don't know what Samsung's doing, but oh my God, so much better on the Note 20 Ultra. They've definitely fine-tuned their computational photography to offer brighter and more punchier photos and significantly better nighttime photos. Battery life in the Note 20 Ultra is good, but it's not great. And the reason being is because the battery is 500 milliamp hours smaller than the battery inside of the S20 Ultra. They had to do this because there's an S Pen, and therefore they didn't have enough space to put a bigger battery. This also means you can't use 120 hertz at QHD. For whatever reason, Samsung still continues to omit this. They probably felt it doesn't meet up to their standards in terms of overall battery life, so they kept it disabled. So the big question becomes, should you buy the Note 20 Ultra? And look, this is an expensive phone. It's $1,300, but the thing is, it's actually cheaper than the S20 Ultra. And quite frankly, now that this phone is on the market, the S20 Ultra makes no sense anymore. It never made sense from the beginning because you were getting a lot more value from the cheaper S20 and S20 Plus. So now that the Note 20 is here, the S20 Ultra is dead in the water. Now, if you are upgrading from a Note 9, a Note 8, this is gonna be a fantastic upgrade. But my recommendation to you is wait a couple of months, because at the end of the day, Samsung tends to discount their smartphones around holiday seasons. And you can save yourself a couple of $100 or have options to bundle it with great accessories. So watch it, wait for the price drop, then buy it. Anyways, that wraps up this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, because if you did, feel free to hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.